If I ate part of a finger that wasn't mine,
yeah,
I'd be a little upset.
I'm sorry, we don't have to leave that in, but that's fucking hilarious.
Undies, finger, toilet, mushroom.
Oh, I like this. I like this a lot.
You and I can't put our heads together and figure out how to do something.
Where are you getting these news segments from?
Wanting to throw your headphones through your bonnet.
That is bonkers, man. Mystery not solved in this case. This, I gotta say, yeah, I think we started. This is my least favorite way to do this after that rigmarole, man. Virtual, yeah. We thrive. We thrive when we have in-person energy.
Definitely the in-person is better. I think we were dead ass wrong when we said that setting up the virtual was going to be even easier than setting up the in-person. Man, like the thought of setting up the in-person seems like such a breeze now, like the easiest thing ever.
I know. The last episode, I think we blocked off more time than we needed, and we were just able to refine more. But this was felt like a race against the clock. Had to download apps, had to do all kinds of crazy stuff.
Click the fucking animal head, you know. I did. Yeah. We're gonna dub this the episode that almost didn't happen.
It came close. It towed the line on me being like, I need a day to reset and step away because I am feeling frustrated. But we persevered.
We did, and it's Sunday. That's the other thing. It's a little tough knowing we can't just necessarily run it right back tomorrow. It's kind of like an hour and everything, but you hit a point where you're like, dude, I just don't care anymore.
It's funny because I think we'll talk about something that actually got me to that place yesterday where I was just like, you know what? I don't care anymore. And it has to do with all this audio visual, creating accounts, captchas, all that shit can go in the trash can.
That should be simple. That's so
exactly.
hard.
It's 2023. How is all this stuff not laid in so that I can just lazily?
I still don't understand why I can't use my Bluetooth headphones. I feel like I'd like to address these big dumb fucking white headphones on my head that I didn't plan on wearing.
They look beautiful, man. It's definitely not as discreet as Bluetooth, but you know, it works for what we're doing, I guess.
Yeah. Well, hey man, 1% better every day, right? Maybe these headphones will be upgraded at some point.
incremental upgrades as we go along, people.
Yeah. Well, we can point out the obvious. This is our first virtual episode, so hit some technical difficulties this morning, and it's Sunday, and instead of the normal podcast liquid that we're normally having, I'm having my third cup of coffee, so I feel pretty cracked out at the moment. And I got water to my left. So different scene, not in person, different juice. Totally different episode today.
I think the vibe will be different, but also good. I'm trying to hydrate, man. Sunday's usually the day where I've kind of stomped all my recreational beverage imbibation. I don't know. Drinking, and I try to reconstitute all the liquid that I lost throughout the weekend. So I've got some Rally and Recover by my good friends at Alpha Elite Fitness. They hooked me up with some really good. It's kind of like we got on the Propel train earlier, I think last year. Got to get some electrolytes in you, and they've got they have a really good. Pretty much, it's like that plus. That not only does it keep you hydrated, but it's got some really good recovery stuff in it that's been pretty awesome for me. So and I will say my.
Oh, go ahead.
I was sorry. That's gonna be hard to get used to. Is like the delay. Oh my god. I was gonna say I almost never drink regular water thanks to this stuff now.
Well, I did until you came over last weekend or whatever, and was like, regular water. Like you need the salt or you need the electrolytes or whatever. And now every time I drink regular water, I feel like it's not doing anything.
You do. You need a little extra. You need a little something to hold it in your body, man.
I'm drinking. I'd like to point out my all-time favorite mug that you gave me, the Sasquatch mug. This thing is used on a daily basis, man. I love this mug. It's so cool. Yeah. And there's something about like the blackest black cup with black coffee in it, like black liquid in a black cup. I don't know.
It makes the coffee. It's blacker than the coffee, so it gives the coffee a nice color.
Yeah, it's nice. I really like it.
Oh yeah.
You're listening to The Hardpoint with Onexpunchxdad and Code Rome's.
welcome to the Hardpoint. Welcome back to the Hardpoint. My name's Josh. I go by Onexpunchxdad online.
My name's Cody. I go by Code Roams, and here we are, the 4th episode.
Quattro.
It seems like only yesterday this thing was a dream, a thought. Nothing but an idea.
We're moving and shaking.
And here we are.
I feel like we picked
up.
We picked up some really good traction on our last episode. I think we're slowly kind of finding what we want to be and what we want to do, and the things that really drive us and engage us as far as conversation is concerned. So I'm really excited to keep it rolling this week.
Me too. And I think we hit, as we've discussed quite a bit between now and the last episode, we struck a little bit of a popular topic, it seems. And that would be Vagrant Holiday.
Vagrant Holiday, man. I tell you, it's one of those things where you ever hear like a word or a phrase and you're like, oh, that's unique. That's very interesting. And then it just starts popping up everywhere and you realize like it's been around and it's been on the tip of a lot of people's tongues for a while. Vagrant Holiday is one of those things for me. I again, if you watched last week's episode, came in cold, had no idea what the obsession was going to be, what it was going to be about. I thought Cody was
that. People liked it. People liked it.
I really enjoyed it. I think that's definitely going to be a regular occurrence for us. But yeah, I had never heard about it until you rolled out this crazy internet urban legend that the depth of the meat of what is there. It's 8 episodes of a YouTube channel, but the lore and the theories go way deeper than that.
It really does. And I think only having 8 episodes adds to the lore, adds to the legend of it. That was one of the things when I was presenting it to you last week was, here's one of the weird things. It only has 8 episodes. It doesn't have 100. It's such a captivating channel, and the level of entertainment in his videos is so high, but there's so little material that it just makes it that much greater, I think.
It's insane, man. I was blown away. We've kind of rolled out some clips and stuff that we pulled from the episode, just to kind of check people's engagement and see what their awareness level of it was. And it's high. It's not, it's a good mix of people who are, oh man, that is new and interesting.
Right.
But also, we've had a lot of comments that span from like, I've heard about this, to I know exactly what has happened.
Yep.
And have a very like firmly planted idea about what happened to Vagrant Holiday, the guy.
That might be one of my favorite parts of us bringing this up and it gaining a little bit of traction is just reading all the comments. And like you just said, I mean, some people are like sure that they know. And, we had one in particular that was very specific on what happened, all the way down to his name and if he's alive or not, and where that death happened and where he's from, and even potentially a picture of the guy, which is if big if true. Right. And what you pointed out was one of the responses to that comment was, you seem to be the only guy on the internet that's aware of this, because dude, the morning when I woke up after we got all those comments on that video, I laid in bed for like an hour just trying to find anything to verify what this guy is saying. And there's nothing, I don't know enough about him to think that he'd be deceptive on it. I have no idea. I can't prove or disprove. It's fascinating though.
It's insane to me because, and again, like, I don't want to get into this whole thing about like the information age and you just don't know what's real anymore. But it is a thing where we rolled it out a week ago, and to me, it's almost like the more sure they seem about it or act about their intelligence on this topic, the more sus it's almost like if you assert that you know too much about this, I'm immediately more like incredulous that you do know.
I agree. This seems to be a topic that the only thing that I know for sure, I think that doesn't even make sense. The only thing that I think I know is that nobody knows anything. That's the only thing I think I'm sure about on this topic. So just like you said, when somebody rolls in here with like trying to roll out some concrete, thoughts and I don't know, info on what happened, I'm with you. I kind of immediately go to like, no, because that would be out there. Because I've strolled his Reddit, like we talked about a little bit. I feel like I've searched every square inch of the internet trying to find any info on this guy, and there's nothing out there. And so for this, you know, the couple people that rolled in and said, "Here's what happened. Here's his name," you know.
Yeah. Somebody like, "Oh, he died in Serbia. You didn't hear?" It's like, okay, show me a link to an article. Show me like. You know, it's like we've gotten little breadcrumbs that seem like they might have some credence to them,
right?
Some theories that kind of make sense, but also even those, like, there's really nothing concrete that you can come away and say like, that's a lead, that's a hot lead on the whereabouts and or ultimate fate, of Vagrant Holiday. And
I don't want to bash anybody that left anybody. I like the engagement. I do. You know, it does seem like everybody that had an opinion or a thought on what happened, it was all different. Like, you didn't have a reoccurring story or info or anything like that. Like, everybody brought something different, you know, as far as what they knew happened or whatever. So, I mean,
there was absolutely, and again, to echo Cody, we do appreciate even the staunch theories. But there was no through line. Like, it's not a thing of like I put videos out where I like had some dated information and had 10, 20, 30 people comment and be like, "Oh, it's this now." And you're like, "Oh, well,
right.
There you go. Mystery solved." Mystery not solved in this case.
No. And I just kind of peel back the curtain a little bit here. One of the most concrete comments, honestly, was saying that here's his name. He died. He died in Brooklyn. And claimed to be some sort of like reporter or something. And through COVID, he kind of followed, I don't know, a lead, and apparently found his Facebook and his family and all this stuff. So, you know, I don't necessarily want to put that out there, but I will say where it took me, I don't think that that's him. And the reason why is, I'll flash this up on the screen so you can see it, but do you have your phone on you? I texted you a couple pictures. Yeah. So me being the I don't know, call it a creep, call it whatever. I was watching a Vagrant Holiday video, and there's a moment in the video where he's hopping a fence, and you can see his shadow by the way that the sun's pointing on the camera. You can see his shadow. He's hopping the fence. And obviously it's a shadow. I can't see any facial features or anything like that. But
you get a pretty good sense of his style of dress and maybe his hair.
Sure. And his hair, to me, correct me if I'm wrong, it looks like a mid-length, kind of like curly or fluffy type hair. And the picture that I saw did not sport that hair. He looked like a kind of an older guy, nothing like what I envisioned. And I know it's not concrete, but this shadow that is definitely him from his video does not line up with where this road took me.
No. I'm getting a sense he's, again, I'll agree with you. He's got maybe a shaggy kind of like the mid 2000s emo kid haircut that we all had.
That's what I was looking for. Yeah.
Looks to be like some kind of like military or jean jacket, I'd say, that cuts off at about the waist, and then some skinny jeans.
Right.
And so he definitely has.
That I got to. I mean, do you agree that guy didn't really look like this at all?
No, and again, like, clothes can be changed, but like it's apparent that he probably had I don't know, what do we call it? Like an action outfit. Like this dude definitely had his sneaking getup that he would don when he would go on these crazy exploits.
It's the all black.
But yeah. He was definitely trying to like lay low, but he had like big punker vibes. I think like
For sure.
I could see him being kind of like a crusty punk kind of dude.
Kind of like a metalhead too. In that Japan episode, he points out all those metal artists he listened to, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, you get, again, like, he leaves like these little hints about like who he is as a person, but it's none of it is enough to be like, oh, that might be Teddy, or, you know, this guy I know. But again, even if someone were to come forward and say that, it's like, okay, I need more proof for me to believe. I have a very, very important question. What is your theory about what happened to Vagrant Holiday?
Man, what I think happened, and it's undoubtedly the most boring of all of them. What I think happened is he just got bored with it. I think he's alive. I think he's out there. I think he's living a quote unquote, normal life, whatever your opinion, or version of that is. I don't think he died. I don't know, man. I think that last episode that he filmed in Mexico where he got robbed, like I said, he was upfront about just doing it for fun the entire time. And I think once you get robbed in a foreign country, it's no longer fun, like
probably lose your taste for that stuff.
Probably. Yeah. I think it's just like, he was kind of like, okay, I'm getting nothing out of this. And I think, I don't know, maybe he's a guy that thinks it's kind of cool that he did all this and he's walking anonymously, out there amongst the people. I think that's what happened. I don't like the theory that he died. That's really sad to me. Just because, you don't want to hear anybody died. But if you've watched all of his videos, you get this like connection and this fondness of him. So the thought that he died is really, really sad to me. So I don't want that to be true.
It's a bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same. I think my theory is probably pretty close to yours. There's nothing in any of his videos to me that indicates that he died. I will say that, like, that's probably the only through line that people seem to kind of attach to, is that he died. There's no data. It's certainly not on the YouTube. There's no data to indicate. The end of the episode, which the last episode is the one in Mexico, the last minute or 2 minutes of the episode is him telling you he got robbed. Like, he's literally around a campfire. He's flipping around some pesos or whatever. And he talks about it. He's still alive. He still has the wherewithal to, and it's edited. He had time to take the footage he got, edit it, upload it onto the internet, and then stopped. So there's no indication in my mind that he died. There is literally no crumbs. So I'm with you. I think he is absolutely still with us. And I think one of two things is a possibility moving forward. One is the one you said, where he did lose all taste for adventure, walked away, and that's the last we're going to hear of him. The other one is he is watching this steady increase of return to prominence because, again, the last episode dropped in 2021.
Yeah.
It would not surprise me if within the next 365 days, out of nowhere, out of the clear blue sky, Vagrant Holiday #9 drops. That wouldn't surprise me a bit.
I would be absolutely shook to my core, bro. Like, that's what's bigger, GTA 6 or Vagrant Holiday 9.
Dude,
I think you hit it right on the head. Somebody said he never made it out of Mexico. And my first thought was, dude, he uploaded the video and it's edited. I doubt he did that in Mexico. I don't know if I'm sure he edits this himself. And like you pointed out, some of the cuts and everything, it's not something you do on iMovie on your phone. Like it takes a little bit, and I just have a hard time believing that he did that in the bushes in Mexico. Like, he made it back home and uploaded that.
Because the Mexico video, like, he has a recurring thing where he'll do, as he's traveling around, it's kind of like a sweeping, like they do it on the History Channel a lot, where it's like kind of a Google Earth view of where he's at. It zooms out really fast. You get kind of a whoosh, and then it scans the map over to where he's at in the next segment, zooms in real quick. That's not something you can do if you're stranded with no equipment around a campfire in Mexico.
And he's always upfront about what he carries with him, and it's not a laptop. It's not a MacBook Pro, like, it's his phone and knickknacks to survive. I mean, in his camera, and I don't think there's any other way you can do it besides just taking those SD cards back home, plugging it into an actual laptop and editing it there. So I think he definitely made it out of Mexico and just kind of got bored. It's not the most exciting theory, but it's better than him dying. And I don't know. I just don't like that. That's an upsetting theory to me.
It is. And I people's imagination on a topic about something like so again, it's one of those things where at bird's eye view, it's interesting to us.
Right.
But initially, it's not that interesting. If you had watched the TikTok that kind of put you onto this guy's trail and just been like, huh, and scrolled along, you'd have never gone into the comments to see how deep the theories that spun around this are. And they're immense. I wish I had pulled up a few more from Reddit, but there are so many that talk about like just the random ones, like the one we had someone comment that he died in Serbia in 2001 or 2021.
Where'd you hear that? And he said, oh, I don't know, my dad, and I don't know where he heard it, and it's just like, boy, haven't heard that one. He didn't even go to Serbia in any of his.
Fuck out of here.
You don't have to do a video there to die there, but that just seems highly unlikely or super random at least,
Yeah. I think for me to believe something like that, there would be, like you talked about all of his tools of the trade, his things that he carried around, sparse though they were, someone would have found those things. And one of those things would have been an SD card full of footage.
Right. Yeah.
With his, I'm assuming I get the sense that he is narrating in real time. So the audio that you're hearing, which is really fucking hilarious, by the way. Like, he is a funny guy. He says a lot of really funny things in moments that would be honestly kind of terrifying to normal people. Like, he's rarely like out of breath, like, shaking in his boots. Like, he will, almost get arrested for hopping trains. And then he'll hop off the train and we're like, well, that was fucking stupid. He'll just move on to the next thing. Like, he really is pretty resilient in that regard, but
he is.
But you would have that.
That raises the fascination, not only just like the mystery behind where is he, but he's doing something that most people wouldn't be able to do in just being alone and going all these places that, like the Forbidden Island one in particular is just flat out scary. I mean, it is frightening. And I think just like you said, being resilient, kind of unshaken, unfazed by anything and everything, and being able to still provide comedic commentary throughout. I mean, it's really good.
And that does remind me also, talking about like his resiliency and his kind of like sarcastic outlook on all this stuff he's doing. We were watching the videos after we recorded episode 3 of our show.
Right.
And I noticed that a lot of the gear, specifically in the Forbidden Island episode, was camouflage. It was military gear. It was stuff that I've been issued. It was like bivvies, which are like a waterproof like sleeping bag cover. There was a weatherproof bag, which is a very specific issue item that we get. It's basically a nylon or canvas bag that's lined with rubber on the inside, and you put your stuff in there and it keeps it dry. So there's two things with that. One is he did what anyone else could do, which is go to a military surplus store and just acquire those things. A quick Google search, you could probably tell which like actual Army military issue items are like, hey, I should probably grab one of those. But also, if he's from Seattle or he's in Seattle, very near to a military base, Joint Base Lewis McChord is there. So there's a good chance that this dude is or could be former military and just had a bunch of gear that he got left over with from his time in service, or at least got issued that gear and knew like I need to get these things, because a lot like a surprising amount of the gear looks like military issue items, and that was something that caught my eye. Was you don't really know how useful some of that stuff is until you have used it for real, like in the field.
Right.
So that's also not a theory I have, but it definitely raised an eyebrow for me watching the videos in terms of who this person could be.
I think that makes sense. I mean, just his like survival instinct, and ability to like sleep in the bushes and not give a shit, and like you said, get the best use out of that stuff. Like if you handed it to me, somebody who has no idea what any of that is, I'm probably not getting 100% of the ability of that stuff out of it, But if it's somebody who knows how to put it to best use, you're going to get a lot more out of it. So I don't know for sure, but I think that makes all the sense in the world that he was some sort of military.
Yeah,
it just kind of
could be, man.
It just makes sense with everything.
Yeah, and again, I'm not positing that as like, here's what I think, but That was definitely something that I noticed that I wouldn't say as a theory, but a hypothesis I would put out there, that he is potentially got some, or at least maybe he certainly understood fundamentals of survival on a level that, like, he didn't do it in the way that's like, I'm gonna go do this and see what happens. Like, he is like the train hopping episode, the amount and the types of food that he has available are foods that replenish calories in a very specific way. And that is another thing that's kind of like, if nothing else, he at least studied survival techniques. So like, he's always eating the stuff with like peanut butter on it and stuff, like lots of fats and calories. So that's a thing too, of like, he thought about these videos in a way that he at least understood survival. So
it looks,
but again,
like
who knows?
He has a very loose way. Like, I think when you watch these videos, you think that it's a lot of firing from the hip, and I'm sure that it is, but I think there has to be a level of preparedness to go over there and do that. Even if you're sleeping in the bushes, like, I think you have to have somewhat of a plan, somewhat of a survival plan. I think there's probably more thought put into it than the average viewer realizes just watching the videos,
Definitely. And I think there are some things that happen that are obviously just kind of out of his control, and you can tell he is actively ducking the cops or hiding from someone, or, but there's other elements of it that do seem kind of like accentuated for the thrill of it. I think he kind of knew how to keep the tone creepy. The Forbidden Island one specifically for me is creepy because, like, there's a moment where a car is driving by and maybe it would have seen him or not, but like when he's hiding in the bushes, you're like, I don't know if they could have seen him or not, but I feel fear for him.
Yeah. Well, when I first showed you that video, you put it really well. You're like, this is a man on a real life stealth mission. As fans of games and movies where stealth is often a part of that, but neither of them are real. Seeing a video of a guy on a real life stealth mission was really cool.
Yeah, and seeing it from, like, again, you never see his face, obviously, so it is some kind of head or chest mounted GoPro type camera that is essentially, you are this guy. You see what he sees. You see when he picks stuff up, he goes into the prison or the facility on the Forbidden Island, and he's like picking stuff up. He's examining it. He lays in the bed and turns the light off, which is terrifying.
The part where he gets that photograph of all the police officers is something straight out of a video game.
Yes. Like, and like the way he kind of just looks at it, rotates it, like it is. You get the sense that you are like in a Resident Evil type, survival horror, type game. It's insane. But
and he mentioned stuff like Skyrim and stuff like that. So I think he realizes what he's doing. Like he mentions video games throughout. So I think he's doing that on purpose. It's not by accident.
Big time. And again, they're really good videos. You might stumble across them on TikTok or Instagram or whatever, but highly encourage everyone, if you've got even an hour to go crush a few of these, they are very interesting, and I would posit that you can't watch just one.
It's like what chip is it? It's the Ruffles of YouTube videos.
It is. It's, you can't eat just one. I could eat one Ruffle and be fine, because I think Ruffles are dog shit, but that's a conversation for a different day.
I want to say we appreciate all the engagement. Obviously we're not done talking about it. We enjoy it. So, keep the engagement up, comments, theories, man, let us hear them. We're loving it.
We do. And we generally, like, if you've got a theory, we've kind of gotten into the habit of, we will interact, especially if it is a salient theory or assertion of where he might be. That's kind of the fun of this, right? Is you taking a guess, like watching through this or watching a few of them and then saying like, okay, what are the possibilities that happen here, and who might this guy be? That's part of the fun of it. But yeah, absolutely. We'd love to know what you guys think about where this guy might be or who he is. I appreciate doing another check-in on that. I think as we go forward, we're probably going to have, I'm not going to call it a Vagrant holiday segment, but we kind of have that romance of like, he's really the first kind of just, obsession segment. So
Yeah.
like the first kind of curveball that we've had that just kind of fell in our lap.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that saga is definitely not over, and it's certainly not over for us. So
It's not. And I think Obsession was received really well. And Josh told me that he even has some stories that he's found that he wants to bring as, part of that segment. And whoever's doing the segment, the other person doesn't know anything about it. We're coming in cold, which I think makes it a little bit more exciting, kind of being, with the viewers, learning it as one of us is presenting it. I think it makes it even more fun. So more of that in the future. Stay tuned.
definitely. And we haven't really locked in a criteria for what it could be. I think Vagrant Holiday is a really interesting example of like a creepypasta, like an internet urban legend. But
Right.
I think those things are far more interesting than I gave credit. So I've kind of been racking my brain for things that have puzzled me throughout the years as someone who uses the internet regularly. So I think we'll have some interesting obsession conversations over the next year or so.
Heck yeah, man. Well, you want to wind the clock back to last night, and I'll let you drive
Oh my
telling our
God.
experience.
So technology has not been our friend this weekend. We had a hell of a time just getting this episode set up, as we talked about. But so we talked a little bit last week about Grand Theft Auto 6 and just our enjoyment of especially the recent Rockstar games. We both love, obviously, Red Dead 2. I'm not going to talk too much about Red Dead 2 again. I know it's very, very apparent that I fucking love the shit out of that game.
Fucking love Red Dead 2, man.
Hey, yeah, it's the Red Dead podcast. Really do love that game. Can't say enough about it. But we talked about GTA 6. We talked about kind of the steps forward from GTA 5, and it kind of got both of us thinking, like, hey, GTA 5, we both crushed the story mode. We both rolled credits on it. It is a game where even if I'm not going to just do another playthrough, like, I will download it again sometimes and run a couple missions and kind of live in that world.
Sure.
They did a couple months ago, I do believe they released the Series XS upres. I believe they did the same thing for PS5, but basically the current gen upres, which does sharpen it and have it looking a lot more like a more recent game. I'm not going to say it looks like a game that came out last year or anything. The graphics and some of the character models still very much, they look like 2013 game models, game assets and stuff. Some of the lighting is still, it certainly lacks a lot of the luster of say, Red Dead, but still fun. So we got to thinking, like, well, hey, GTA Online is this big smash hit. It's, obviously a big cash cow for Take-Two
Huge.
Interactive, and just makes tons of money. They're still producing tons of content on a regular basis for it. So we think, hey, we'll jump in. We'll both create a character, and we'll just we'll run a couple missions, right? We'll go rob a bank or go kill some bad guys together. So, not including the first, I'd say, hour, because there is a significant, if you're jumping into Red Dead, or excuse me, see, I'm just still trying to talk about Red Dead.
Can't help it.
If you're I know, just wants to get out of me. If you're jumping into GTA Online right now, you're actually in a pretty good position to do that. I will say that on its behalf, because they are going to basically give you a bunch of money and put you in a position to kind of start with some stuff.
Right.
Start with some guns, start with some pretty good cars. And then from there,
business.
yes, you're not coming in with a barrel, just like in a brown sack with nothing into GTA Online, if that's something you want to do. What I will say, that's probably the end of anything good I have to say. We spent around an hour creating characters and there are some requisite starter missions that you have to do alone. You cannot squad up or do anything. Doesn't allow you to.
They call it.
Yes, a tutorial segment, yes. Which is fine. You run some missions, you drive around, you do some shooting, you go get some stuff, go pick some people up, whatever. So we get to the point, we both finish that. We're like, okay, you ready? I'm ready. You ready? It is a fucking nightmare trying to squad up, get in your friend's game, and try to figure out how to do missions with them in that game. It is,
Yeah.
it dumbfounds me how many steps are involved in that. What is in 2023 a simple thing? It takes us. How long does it normally take us coming in cold to get in a Call of Duty match together?
No time. No time
60
at all.
seconds. Yeah. 1 minute. It's, again, also a very complicated UI, right? You got to kind of, I think the current Call of Duty, if you're playing with the controller, you literally have to press the right stick to open up your friends menu, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But whatever. 60 seconds, coming in cold. We got to figure out. We're in a game. We're dropping in together, whatever. Grand Theft Auto Online makes you go to the Rockstar Social Club website, not on the game, not in the game UI. You have to go to a computer or a phone, create an account, find your friend there, and then add them to your crew, which we did. And we still weren't able to run a mission together. For some fucking reason.
We clocked, a solid 2 hours, maybe more, maybe 2.5. We played for a while last night. And
we did.
We logged exactly 0 missions together after that long. And like you said, there's some startup time, some tutorials. We were coming in completely, from 0. We had not done it. So we get that there's some startup time, but you would think after 2 to 2.5 hours of putting in that game, we could have logged a mission together or anything at all.
Not a one.
I think we had one cool moment where you were driving the car, the cops were chasing us. I'm out the window, shooting at them. Like out of that 2.5 hours, there was about 30 seconds of thrill. And the rest was wanting to throw your headphones through your monitor. Like just frustration, complications, unnecessary steps. Like you said, it's a game that's cornered the market for the last 10 years. And for it to be anything more than like the click of a button to hop into a game together, it does not make sense to me.
And the frustrating part about it, and I think the thing that made me mad, because I will tell you, that against the backdrop of a game that is already like not that good, I'm out. The second I can't do a very simple thing in a game that should have it all figured out, I'm walking.
Right.
The content and the availability of things that you can do in GTA Online 10 years on is cool.
Yeah.
And as we were doing the tutorial missions, I was like, I can't wait to go. You assume a role now. Like you don't just drop into the world as some random dude. Like you essentially, it gives you the ability to choose between like 4 roles, I think. And we both chose the nightclub owner. So I was in my nightclub and I'm thinking like how cool it'll be to do nightclub missions, go get it or go kill them or whatever, heists. And we come back here and, there's like a little mini bar in there. We can both pour a drink and dance in our club. We did have a lot of fun. Dancing in the nightclub.
Dude, our guys were getting down, dude. It was so funny looking. It was
when
awesome,
you start, it's not a thing of like press A to dance and you dance. You start dancing and the whole left side of your screen fills up with a top to bottom menu
of controls,
of thorough controls, and you can dance any kind of way at any kind of intensity that you want. And it is honestly, we were laughing fucking hard.
And then once I got done dancing, I got an achievement for dancing 5 straight minutes in the club. Like it was so in depth and so much fun that I spent 5 minutes of my real life ass time dancing in the club, dude, clicking buttons. Like you said, raising the intensity. You can raise the roof. They had different dances you could cycle through, and like the toggle of the stick in each direction did a different one. It was incredibly in depth, and it was like the shining moment of last night.
Yeah. I was gonna say criminal that was the height of the fun that we had between that and then going to war with the cops. Which we were not squatted up. At one point, he was like, well, just follow me around while I do my mission. We get in a firefight. I'm right behind him. I accidentally hit the melee. And then with one tap, I kill him because we're not in a squad together. So friendly fire is just out the window. Right. It's like, okay, well, we got to figure that out. We didn't. So I'm not going to say that we are walking away. Again, the content that's there is interesting enough for me to give it at least one more try. I want to see what's cool about GTA Online. I feel its call. I just want to know how to fucking answer it.
We said it last night. Like the idea, like the potential seems really cool. Like you said, collecting businesses and, you know, that nightclub, once you got it set up, you were raking in $50K a day and, you know, setting up other businesses and buying planes and property and just kind of becoming like a mob boss in that city within that game. Like the concept is really, really cool. It's just figuring out how to do it.
And what I feel like would make it ultimately cool is being able to build that space up. Like you get your nightclub, you have this whole upper, you know, VIP office area where you've got like a mini bar and you can still kind of hear the club music going.
Yeah.
How cool is it to decorate that place, personalize it, and then once your crew is finished with a mission, you're able to go into that space with them and kind of show off all the things you've unlocked and do these, you know, dance in the club together, do all that silly shit. Those are the things, again, and I'm going to say it, Red Dead 2 or Red Dead Online does so much cleaner and so much easier, and that's, they've got to clean that stuff up for GTA 6 Online. They have to.
Because we had that moment in Red Dead Online where you had that moonshine business, and I hopped into your game, and we went and like did a couple runs together, and then to celebrate, we went and sat in your bar, had a couple drinks, got fucking hammered, and that was a cool moment. You know, like that's the type of thing I want to do.
Exactly. Or even like being able to go to someone else's campsite in that game and pet their dog. Like it's little things like that, you know. And I believe that GTA 5 is online is there. That is there in that game, but the hoops that we are having to jump through to get there in order to just get in each other's game, to literally just squad up has been tremendous. And maybe there's just some, I don't know, we were drinking, so maybe it was just like,
and it was late. We started late. We were drinking. I think the whole tutorial kind of had us like, okay, it's whatever, but it was just it was to the point where it's like we didn't have any patience. You know, I just want to play right now, and I can already hear it. I'm sure we're going to get some comments telling us how fucking stupid we are, and it's really easy.
Or you just got to go through these 8 menus, man. It's really not that hard. Like, okay, it however hard it is, it's too hard. Like, I know with the right amount of YouTubes and just playing with it, I could probably figure it out. But I will tell you that it is not as easy as it should be.
It's not like we're new to games, dude. We've been playing games our whole life. And if you and I can't put our heads together and figure out how to do something, it's too hard. It's too hard. And sending me, like you mentioned, to an external website to sign up so we can hop into a game together is just ludicrous.
That is bonkers, man. Look, we're going to, again, I want to give it a shot. We love a lot of times our default will play Call of Duty, but there is something about that feels fun, and I want to do more in a world than just shoot people in the face.
Right.
It's got a lot of appeal. It's really, like we talked about it last night, like it's in its golden years, right? Like GTA 5 Online will sunset eventually once GTA 6 drops. So I do kind of want to see what the magic was all about, you know? But good God, like that was a headache for sure. So
my thought last night, that was kind of my main motivation, besides something else to do together that seems fun. One of my main motivations to trying it was, this has been one of the biggest things in video games for a decade, and I haven't so much as dipped my toes into it. And I don't want it to come and go without me at least kind of like trying it or seeing what it was all about. If I don't end up liking it, that's fine. But I think if it came and went and I never even tried it, I think I would regret that a little bit. So there's a little bit of like, let's see what this is all about before it's too late.
I think so too. And you know, again, you know, from an engagement standpoint, if you are just jumping into GTA Online, or you've been in the game for a long time and you've got like a skyscraper in that game and you're just buku money and you understand it, please, for the love of God, get in the comments or shoot us a DM. We want to enjoy this game, but Lord America, it was rough. Another thing I found kind of daunting, and then I'll stop shitting on this very popular and very successful game. The amount of tip prompts phone calls from in-game characters, random things popping up to where I think at one point you were like, I'm trying to answer or look at one and another one has popped up over it. And I cannot differentiate all of this data. Obviously it's dense, and I like that it's dense because that tells me there's a lot of good stuff there that you kind of pulp through and enjoy over time. Obviously, I think the worst thing you can do, and again, I'm not a game dev, I don't know anything about this, but for me as the enjoyer, when you inundate me with that shit within the first 3 hours of me playing the game, and I'm missing it, there's no way for me to go back and look at like, hey, this taught me how to do this function in this game, and the prompt disappeared, or it got covered up by another one, or some guy called me and I was trying to listen to him on my little phone. That's what burned. I think that's probably what burned me out on my first try with GTA Online. Was like, it's just too much coming at me, too much tutorial bullshit coming at me to the point where I'm like, yeah, I don't fucking care.
No, you're right. Right. As soon as we got through the tutorial and kind of got dropped into the real world, like you said, we just got phone call after phone call after phone call. And that's not what I was trying to do. We were trying to figure out how to get into a game. And so it's like I either have to sit here and answer every one of these phone calls and listen to it so I don't miss it, or hang up on them. And I don't know if that's something I can just, like, does me hanging up on it lose that opportunity altogether, or does it just go into a queue somewhere else that I can go find it? I don't know. So you kind of have that anxiety of like, I don't want to miss out on all this stuff, you know?
Yeah. You can tell this game was made in 2013 because everyone's calling instead of fucking texting like civilized people.
Yeah. And I know, like you mentioned earlier, the start is different now, where they kind of give you some money, let you start a business. They're trying to hold your hand a little bit more to get introduced. But once that hand-holding part is over, like the walking you into it is over. Like your hand is held for a short amount of time, and then you're still just thrown in with the sharks. You know, like it doesn't last that long.
And in GTA Online, you would feel like one of the first things that they want to educate you on is how to squad up. Like you're in a lobby, like you do, I think, 2 of the tutorial missions, and then you get in your third mission, you realize, oh, there's other players here. And a lot of times they're hostile. Like they want to fight, they want to duke it out. And so you realize very quickly, oh yeah, online. So in my thinking, the first thing you want to do for me is, hey, you might want some help.
Right.
Here's how to do that.
Yeah.
It doesn't do that.
No.
It's frustrating. So anyway, I think we're going to give it, I don't know, man, another night maybe. And if it doesn't take after that, I might walk.
I want to get to the part where I think that it will be fun, and I just don't know how to get there or when it's going to come. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think we're both kind of discouraged a little bit on it, but like you said, if somebody is a master at GTA Online and can help us in a non-condescending, non-douchey way, please come forward and help us a little bit. I'm totally open to that. I don't want to hear about how fucking easy it is and how did you not figure this out. But man, if somebody can help us, give us some tips, whatever, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, and especially like if you're on Xbox, we could use a Sherpa for sure. Like hop in there, show us the way. Because again, it looks appealing. It looks like it could be a lot of fun based on the tutorial missions. But holy Lord, the simplicity is just not there for me. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at from a gaming standpoint. Again, GTA 6 trailer is dropping in a few days here. I'll be on the road. We were planning on doing maybe a reaction video to that, but I don't know if that's going to be on the books for this particular release, but very excited for that trailer. I'm kind of wondering if it's just going to be a bunch of pre-rendered cutscenes that don't really give away too much, or if I don't think we're going to get full-blown gameplay, but it would be very interesting to see what the world could look like as far as playing in it a little bit, you know.
I think it'll be like if I had to guess, like a story trailer. I don't think it'll be like necessarily in-game footage, but I think it'll probably introduce us to the characters, introduce us to the world, and kind of give us a glimpse of just the overall aesthetic of the game. And I
agree.
I think that's kind of what we're going to get here, which is fine, you know, enough to get people pumped about it. When do you think it's gonna? When do you think it's gonna actually come out?
I'm trying to think, because I mean, this is a game where they could, you know, they probably have some analysts who have a month and a day picked out for a very specific reason.
Right.
My hope is that it is between spring and summer. I feel like that's probably not realistic. That seems very close.
Yeah.
My thought is probably before the holiday season. I think they're going to want to try to drop it. I think Red Dead 2 dropped in the October-November timeframe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it kind of rode the pre-holiday and holiday wave a little bit as far as gift-giving season. I think between the inevitable, I feel like we're at least going to hit a 6-month delay at some point. If they drop a date in the trailer, which they might, I think they'll probably drop that date, and then as we get closer to that date, we might get a few months delay.
That's interesting.
Seems like it's
that's interesting. The thought of if we're going to get a date in this trailer or not. Is it just going to be straight up a trailer, or are we going to actually get like a release date on it?
I think we will. I think they've already made it fairly clear that 2024 is the mark on the wall.
Right.
I think it's pretty realistic. We get a hard date.
I think so. I think next year, holiday season. I think if they announce it's like in 2025 or something, people are going to shit themselves. It's been so long that I don't think you can come out with your first trailer after 10 years of production and say that release is going to be 2 more years down the road or anything. I don't see that. So I think it's got to be next year. I don't think earlier in the year or even mid-year makes a whole lot of sense. I think they're going to try and ride that holiday wave. So maybe this time next year, man, who knows? We might be playing some GTA 6. How crazy is that?
It would be fun. I again, like they took GTA 5 with Red Dead 2. They implemented a lot of really cool stuff. They made it a very fun just experience from a video game standpoint.
Right.
I'm very excited to see the culmination of all those awesome things,
right.
And also just up-resed and looking hopefully very beautiful. I have every bit of confidence this is going to be a beautiful game. So pretty excited.
Me too. Well, I think we had a little news segment planned and then some write-ins. You want to take a
That's quick news music.
Okay, do it again, cleanly. I like it. I'll use that.
Yeah, I like that.
Need a quick break or anything, or you want to roll right in?
Actually, a break would be clutch. I need to pee.
Okay, I do too. We'll be right back. All right, well, I think we're going to debut not a very original segment, but I think we like the idea of maybe doing some sort of news segment. And we've already discussed, you and I don't live in the same area, and plus we got people listening all over, so I don't think it's going to be local to anywhere specific. And I don't really want to do like super serious bummer stuff either. This isn't supposed to do anything like that. So trying to just kind of find some fringe, funny, oddity type news stories. And I have 4 here. We certainly do not have to hit all of them. We'll just kind of see where it takes us. But I'm going to let you choose. I'm going to give you one word from each headline, and you can tell me what direction we're going. Sound good?
I like this. I like this a lot.
All right. We got undies, finger, toilet, mushrooms.
I feel like all 4 of those are a recipe for like a really disgusting story. I want to do finger. Well, I bring you to Mount Kisco, New York, where a customer has filed a lawsuit against a fast casual chain Chopped over a salad that she says contained a piece of the manager's finger. Oh. A piece? Are we talking a digit?
We're talking... It says she was chewing on a portion of a human finger that had been mixed into and made part of the salad.
How? Okay, I need to know how big the portion of the finger was first. Like,
Well,
if it's like a piece of a callus, yeah, that's gross. But like, I feel like if someone's finger, a piece of their finger gets taken away from them, they immediately stop everything and they're like, "Don't serve any food until we find that piece of the finger."
Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would venture to say if you cut off part of your finger, you would realize that. Correct?
Yeah, yeah.
And if it fell into a salad that you were about to serve somebody, you would also realize
Stop
that.
everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it says, so according to the suit, a manager at the restaurant accidentally severed a piece of her left pointer finger while chopping the arugula. Unnecessary detail there. Says the manager went to the hospital, but the contaminated arugula was served to the customers, including Cozy. I don't know what the hell that is. Now, don't get me wrong. Whoever put that finger in the salad is in the wrong, right? This lady was a victim. If I ate part of a finger that wasn't mine,
Yeah.
I'd be a little upset. But
Yeah.
you tell me if this lawsuit is just a cash grab or not. So in the lawsuit, she claims she suffered injuries including shock. Okay. Can kind of see that. Panic attack. It's a little dramatic. Migraine.
Oh, okay.
Bullshit.
Hold on.
Cognitive impairment. Nausea. I could see that one.
Nausea.
Dizziness. Bullshit. And neck and shoulder pain as a result of eating the contaminated salad.
Well, you know, if there's some bone in that finger piece, that's a lot of chewing.
Dude.
So I could see that resulting in some neck and shoulder pain.
This is called taking advantage of.
Listen. If you serve me a finger and a lawyer tells me, here's all the things we got him for,
Yeah.
I'm not pulling any punches. If the lawyer's like, do you feel some emotional damage from that? Have you had a migraine this week? That's probably related.
Probably that finger.
I don't care. Is she being a little precious? Yeah. Did she eat a finger? Yeah. She gets a pass from me, man. That's really gross. What restaurant is this? I'm steering clear of that place.
It's a salad fast food place called Chopped. CHOPT.
Okay. You know, we have a Chopped on base here, actually. Okay,
Well,
I'm aware of Chopped.
If you're not a fan of fingers, I would steer clear. It does say the health department shows that Chopped was fined. You go ahead and take a guess. What do you think an appropriate fine dollar amount is for chopping your finger, putting it in the arugula, and serving that to a customer?
I'm going to guess it was on the low end, probably like between 10 and 20,000.
Try $900.
What?
$900 was their fine.
God.
That's pretty
Who's
hilarious.
eating at a fucking salad-only restaurant anyway, man? All those people are really in the wrong.
Dude, never.
Oh, my
Okay,
God.
That's a good one. All right. So fingers off the board. So that leaves us with undies, toilet, mushrooms.
Oh, my God. All these sound like they could be good.
Undies, toilet, mushrooms.
Let's do toilet. He said,
I take you to London,
foggy London town.
where 4 men were charged in the theft of a satirical golden toilet named America.
Hell yeah.
Which, it's a toilet in London named America, and it's gold. And I'm looking at, have you ever seen a gold toilet?
I think I've seen a Google image of a gold toilet, but I've never beheld one in real life.
This is the theft of an 18-karat gold toilet. Valued
Where was the
at
toilet?
$6 million.
Take a $6 million shit.
You
Take one every morning. Was it functional? Was it like hooked up to the plumbing? Like you could shit in America?
Yeah. Yep. It was fully functioning prior to the theft. Visitors to the exhibition could book a 3-minute appointment to use the toilet. Police say that the toilet had been connected. No, I need at least triple that. Police said that because the toilet had been connected to the palace's plumbing system, its removal caused significant damage and flooding to the 18th century building. And they never found it.
They never found it?
They never found it. Here's a quote.
How do they know 3 men took it?
It says, "We will never see that toilet again. Personally, I wonder if it's in the shape of a toilet, to be completely honest. If you have that large amount of gold, I think it seems likely that someone has already managed to dispose of it one way or another."
Like smelt it down, make it into some bricks?
I guess so. Maybe a nice necklace. I don't.
Yeah, some jewelry.
a golden tooth. Somebody took a shit on it. Now it's your fucking tooth.
Oh, it's in your mouth. Dude, I don't know, man. Like, that just speaks to the, like, frivolity that we would have that much gold and we would turn it into a fucking toilet.
It's an excess of... Don't we have a
and
gold
then name
shortage?
it America.
I don't know. Yeah, that's the other funny note. I don't know what I'm talking about here, but don't we have like a shortage of gold? Like, you're telling me we have so much gold that we can just make a fucking toilet?
That person did. That's what they get. That's what they get for shitting on America.
It's
or
not
shitting
even
in
like
America.
some rich billionaire that has more money than he knows what to do with. Like, this was a public toilet that you could book a 3-minute session to use. Just a really odd use of $6 million.
3 minutes to take a shit anywhere is crazy. Who is out here power pooping like that, man?
Oh boy, I don't know. All right, we can hit these next two pretty quick. So we got undies and we got mushrooms.
Mushrooms.
I'm gonna read this title, and we're gonna count the red flags. A lunch host. One. Who the fuck is hosting lunch?
Oh.
That's weird, right?
Why is that? Yeah, like is that a career? Like a career path? Like,
no, just somebody's like you host dinners, right?
Yeah.
You host parties. Like, have you ever just hosted a lunch? Invite all your friends over and your family to have lunch together?
I think if someone teed it up that way, like, hey, I'm hosting a lunch, I wouldn't go.
No.
Like, yeah.
That's a weird thing to do. A lunch host.
You'd have to follow it up with like, there will be booze. I'm like, maybe I might turn up then.
A lunch host is accused 2 of killing 3 her ex 4 husband's parents 5 and aunt 6 with poisonous 7
mushrooms
8.
How?
She says it was an accident, and she's in some trouble.
Oh my God.
The host of a weekend family lunch at her Australian country home was charged Tuesday with murdering her ex-husband's parents and aunt with the poisonous mushrooms and attempting to murder a 4th guest. I didn't notice that part. All 4 guests were hospitalized the next day, and only Wilkinson survived. So, yeah. And then she goes on to say, "I'm devastated. I love them. I can't believe that this happened. I'm so sorry." She said she bought the mushrooms at like a popular chain. So, what do you think about this? I
was going to say, they say everything in Australia is trying to kill you, so that makes sense. Like, the mushrooms would also be trying to kill you. But if you just went to like a whatever Trader Joe's or whatever they have down under and got some mushrooms off the shelf, like, you should be off the hook.
Yeah. It says she cooked a beef Wellington steak dish for the lunch using mushrooms bought from a major supermarket chain and dried mushrooms from an Asian grocery store. It also has the funny additional note of she wrote that she also ate the meal and later had stomach pains and diarrhea.
Diarrhea? Like diarrhea? Is that a typo? Where are you getting these news segments from?
That's weird. What, man, that's one of those things where like you buy something normal, you're trying to do something nice, like host a lunch, and you kill 4 people.
Wait. Is it spelled right? Is diarrhea spelled right?
It's spelled right. I just said it weird. It's spelled right. I just said it weird.
I'm sorry. We don't have to leave that in, but that's fucking hilarious. Diarrhea? I was like, wait, was it a typo? Like,
nope, it's spelled properly.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's an oddly spelled word, I guess.
I was trying to keep it clean up in here. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. No, okay. It is also sus that she only got diarrhea. And everyone else died.
Yeah. One of those, not ideal, but the other one is like way worse. All right. There's a new segment. Hope you liked it. If you didn't, we'll never do it again.
I loved it, and we're definitely doing it again.
All right. I think we have some write-ins, right?
We did. We got a time for a couple. I said that like Super fucking Mario. We got a time for a couple. Let me pull them up. So these today came to us from Discord. We don't actually have the Hardpoint Discord yet. That is something that maybe we'll set up in the future. Be a way for you to interact. I have a Discord for my Onexpunchxdad stuff. It is called Mother Base, and yes, that is a Metal Gear Solid reference. So if you like, me, and also are interested in what me and Cody are doing, that's a good way to interact with us. There is a channel there called Podcast Mailbox where you can hop in and just leave us some little questions, and you never know. We might answer them on the show. So we'd love to have you guys write in, send it in, give us your feedback. Let's see. I'm going to go with... I had a really good one. This is a really good one. So Megatron from cool Discord asks, this is a classic debate. This is something that is a highly debated topic. We'll see where me and Cody align on this. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Oh, he knew it was coming.
All you had to,
is a hot dog a sandwich?
It's a hot dog. I knew where we were going with this.
What do you think, man?
No.
I agree.
A hot dog is a hot dog. It's its own thing. Like, if the argument is it's between 2 pieces of bread and it's meat, that's, to me, not the criteria. I don't know. Like, a sandwich is a sandwich. A hot dog is a hot dog. Like, a hamburger is a hamburger. Those are different things. It's a specific combination of specific things that creates a specific thing. So, no, a hot dog is not a sandwich.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. I've had the argument sent back to me because a lot of it has to do with like shape,
okay,
and also like content, right? So I had someone argue with me like, okay, well, what about like a Philly cheesesteak then? Is that a sandwich? I would consider anything in a long bun a sub or a hoagie.
Sure.
But man, sandwich to me, honestly, like if you sandwich 2 things together, they are 2 separate flat planes that squish, right? A bun that is connected on a hinge is now less a sandwich than whatever it is now trying to be.
I agree with that. I think we're big fans of Jersey Mike's in this house. And when I go get their hot sub, which... they call it a hot sub, but I do refer to it as a sandwich at that point. And maybe it's just kind of, I don't know, out of habit, or just something easy, kind of a generic word to call it. I definitely think a hot dog is not. But a hot dog, if your argument is a sub a sandwich, yes, a sub and a hot dog aren't the same thing. So that doesn't mean anything to me.
Here's why I think, and this isn't necessarily like any kind of concrete evidence or anything, but here's why I think a hot dog is not a sandwich. If you go to New York or Chicago,
right,
like a hot dog stand or a hot dog restaurant, and you ask them for a hot dog sandwich, they're gonna laugh at you. They might even beat you up. But they're not gonna be like, oh, okay, that's a perfectly normal way to order a hot dog.
A hot dog sandwich. That just sounds wrong.
You're an imbecile. Get out of here.
Yeah.
I think we're similarly minded on that. Hot dog is a hot dog. It's not a sandwich.
That's signed, sealed, closed, finalized. That's a done deal.
Yeah. Great question, Megatron.
Yeah.
Yep. We'll do one more. I think we're kind of pushing it on time.
Sure.
Fozzie, my boy, one of my moderators on my Twitch channel when I stream, asks, "What's your Taco Bell order?"
Ooh, man.
Are you a Taco Bell fan? Do you ever default to Taco Bell?
I am. I actually really like Taco Bell. It's very, very, very good. And the good thing about Taco Bell is they have just numerous things you could order that are delicious. But if I had to give like a go-to, I love the beefy 5-layer burrito. That thing is delicious. Now, I do go no sour cream. I hate the sour cream. If they leave it in there, it's ruined to me. I fucking hate sour cream. So a beefy 5-layer, no sour cream. I really like their Doritos Locos Tacos.
Okay.
Fire.
Okay. A
little
messy, but good. Yeah.
A little messy, but really, really good. And then some of the secondary stuff would be like they have the Frito burritos that are really good. It's like man, those are fire.
It's like Frito pie in a burrito, pretty much.
Yeah, basically. Their fries in queso. Dude, they got some bomb ass French fries. First off,
okay,
and they'll sell it with their little cheese dip or whatever. That's good, and then generally topped off with a Baja Blast.
Baja Blast does go hard.
Love Baja Blast.
You know what's really good is Baja Blast and vodka.
Never tried it. I believe you though.
Goes hard.
You don't have to convince me of that. That sounds pretty believable. They actually have a sugar-free, like a zero version now. If you don't want to drink like the regular soda, it's like Baja Blast Zero or something like that. It's pretty good.
I like it. I might try it.
Tastes like 90% there. Not quite all the way, but
that's pretty good.
What about you? Good. What's your order?
So my go-to, if I'm being a good boy, I'll get I think it's called the Power Bowl, which is pretty much rice, beans, and then a protein. I usually go steak. Their steak's pretty good,
right,
for being fast food. I like the veggies. I know you're not a veggie eater, but I go big on veggies. It's really good. I like to take it. It comes in like a little, like cheap Tupperware. I'll take it and shake it up. Put a couple Diablo sauces in there, and it's good to go. If I'm being a bad boy, I like a good old Crunchwrap Supreme, man. I will say, if you get a Crunchwrap and it's lazily put together, it's meant to be just an octagon of flavor.
Right.
I should be able to rotate it in my hand without losing a bunch of lettuce and cheese or anything.
Right.
So if you're out there and you're making Crunchwraps and it's not properly sealed, get your act together. And then, for side items, you threw out a couple side items. I don't know. Do they do the empanadas anymore? It was like a little cinnamon apple pie.
I don't know. I haven't got one of those. They got some rotating items. That might be one of them, but I'm not sure.
They might. Back in the day, back when I was a young man, they had little empanadas, which are like little apple pies pretty much. And those rocked. They were really good. Yeah.
They got their dollar menu that has all kinds of stuff on there. You know what? Taco Bell's gotten a little expensive though, dude. The draw to that back in the day was you could take $5 and basically feast and
eat like a king.
Yeah, dude. When I go through the Taco Bell drive-through, I'm met with like anywhere from like $12 to $15, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Yep. It's
getting expensive.
You go anywhere for that. Anywhere for that.
I know. But hey, I think that's probably going to do it for a write-in segment this week. Thank you. Continue to write in. We might circle back and hit some of those that came in today. I know I prompted you guys kind of late on the Discord, but we ran a little late with our conversation today, which is perfectly fine because that's what we're here to do.
Yep. We're here to talk,
but
entertain, and do it for the people.
And just be beautiful. Hey, I want to say thank you to everyone who has been commenting. I know we get pretty steady influx of people who are coming to the show, and if you're listening to us out there on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, we appreciate that.
Yeah.
We do want to encourage you, if you do enjoy a good video component, slide on over to the YouTube. You get to see us and hear us at the same time. It's the marvel of technology. And then drop us a sub on there. It really helps out. We're trying to grow that channel. And hopefully bring you guys more content than just the podcast. We'd like to grow that maybe into some eventual just video production and stuff. We talked about doing some reactions, which I think could be a lot of fun. Yeah,
man. Subs, likes, comments, even reviews over on like iTunes and Spotify.
Yes, big time.
All $0 things that you can do to help support us. If you enjoy the content, it goes a long ways for us. So a long ways. I said that weird.
And for anyone who's already done those things, hey, we're really appreciative of you. We're kind of exploring the possibility of some Patreon content, so we can get you guys a little more involved in what we're doing and create some content on the side that's a little more on the premium side, little deep dive into who we are as people.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, we'll probably get through the start of the new year and then start rolling some of that stuff out. But just want to say thank you, and hope you guys remain Baja blessed for the rest of the year. My name is Josh. I'm wait. What am I supposed to say? We got to get these outros straight, man.
Dude, we've flubbed the outro on every episode.
I know. We'll get it with practice. It'll come. I've been Onexpunchxdad.
I'm Coda Rums. Thanks for being here.
And we will see you on the flippy.
See ya.
That went pretty good.
Not bad.